Today, I will be using a full team of Pokemon based on whatever I pull from this Pokemon card pack. Special thanks to Emmanuel for the team idea. If you have an idea or franchise you would like to see turned into a Pokemon team, then please comment below and I will use it. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get right into the battles. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, lovely people. Today I am using a booster pack team. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to use a theme ever since I started doing these theme teams. Now, you saw in the intro, I pulled a bunch of Pokemon cards and used the exact Pokemon that I got and put them into one team. It was really scary because I pulled Pokemon like Roserade and Sharpedo that weren't even in this game. And I was worried that I wasn't even going to get a full team of 6, but thankfully, I got just enough Pokemon. Now, if you want to see more booster pack teams or more teams of me using Pokemon that I get from Pokemon card packs, then please like the video. I want to see how many people are interested in seeing more of these types of videos. I'm not going to set a like goal like I normally do. I just want to see how many people are interested in wanting to see more of me using Pokemon card pack teams because they're really fun. So, I have this nasty plot Raichu lead. I'm going to go for the substitute immediately as the Corviknight terrestrializes. I was like, I definitely expect him to be a Terra to resist me because they're Iron Defense Corviknight. So I'm running a substitute Nasty Plot Thunderbolt and Surf Raichu. So I was like, okay, well this is good. I could at least get some solid Surf damage versus the Corviknight. It does a lot of damage. And unfortunately, they're just going to take me out there with the Body Press. I have two really good games for you, and I hope you enjoy them. So I'm going to go into my Koraidon here. My Koraidon. I can't believe I even pulled this card. So I have... Koraidon is a very, very strong physical attacker, as you may or may not know. It gets like bulk up, it gets sword stance, it gets like scale shot, it gets a bunch of good physical moves, as well as its signature move, collision course. And all this to say that I'm actually running a special Koraidon. This is amazing. I had to nerf this Pokemon somehow. So, I'm gonna go for the Terrafire Fire Blast and take out the Corviknight. I don't think that they were expecting a special set. So, that was really the only Pokemon that I had to deal with that because it was like at +2 defense and like my Medicham that I led off with wasn't really going to be doing much versus that Pokemon. So also I want to say thank you all so much for 500 subscribers and this is the whole reason that I'm doing this team. Thank you all so much. We're on our way now to 1,000 lovely people. Thank you all so much for supporting the theme teams. I genuinely really appreciate it. So this is a Power Herb Meteor Beam Koraidon. Look at that damage. I can't even believe it lived that though. It's gonna go for the Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor does a lot of damage to me. It actually does almost as much as my super effective Meteor Beam. Amazing. So I'm gonna go for the Dragon Pulse and take out the Salamence. I wanted to get my special attack boost for the other Pokemon that they had on their team. So this also has Focus Blast as well. It's a pretty wild set. It actually gets some good special moves. So Lucario goes for Extreme Speed. I actually lived that just because of my natural bulk, which is crazy. And I actually land another Fire Blast. Man, the special Koraidon is putting in so much work at this point. So yeah, there goes that Extreme Speed Lucario. Now, I was like, okay, well, they're probably going to swap into their Milotic after this, and they do. So I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to take it out with a Focus Blast, which I actually landed. So I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage versus the Milotic. And I'm going to get taken out here by, I imagine, any kind of water move from this thing, even though I'm in the sun. I'm in a low amount of health after all. So there goes my Koraidon to the Dragon Pulse. And I was thinking, okay, well, they are weakened. I can at least bring in my Medicham. Now, this is a really fun team as well because I actually got to nickname all of my Pokemon. Like, this Medicham is called Tylea. I wonder what that's a reference to. So, I'm running a Choice Scarf Medicham on this team. I have Close Combat. I have Ice Punch, Zen Headbutt, and Poison Jab with Terra Poison so I can resist the fairy moves. So, into the Haxorus this turn. Now, I wasn't confident that Close Combat was going to be able to KO this Pokemon in one hit, and I knew that with my defense drops I was probably going to get KO'd, so I was like, well, I'm going to swap in my Grubbin here. Grubbin. I can't believe I pulled this with Koraidon. So, unfortunately, the Haxorus host was Scale Shot. I was like, oh no, my Grubbin. This is so sad. I actually had Focus Sash on this Grubbin. I'll go over more of that set in that next battle, but, man, I just get absolutely destroyed. I was like, oh no. This Pokemon has a speed boost now. It's now going to be able to outspeed my my Medicham. Now, into my Metagross here. This is a pretty interesting Metagross set. I have max special defense on this. I lived the Earthquake, thankfully. and they don't have any like Swords Dance boost or attack boost, but Heavy Slap just barely misses the KO. I was like, oh no, dang, I really expected that to take it out, especially after the -1 defense. Thankfully, that critical hit wasn't on the first turn, otherwise I would have been super screwed. Now, into my Finison. Nope, not Palafin. This is Finison that I pulled. So I'm going to go for the Choice Banded Aqua Jet. I'm running a Choice Band on this Finison. And I'm actually going to be able to take out the Haxorus, which is huge because I really didn't have much to KO that Pokemon. I probably lost if I didn't have this Finison. Now, I'm going to speed up this point of the battle because there's an Umbreon, and Umbreon is my favorite Pokemon to versus. Actually, Umbreon is one of my least favorite Pokemon in the entire franchise. I'm not even joking. I hate this Pokemon. So, they're going to be the Thunder Wave Foul Play set. I didn't want to swap in my Medicham hard into this Pokemon because I didn't want to take a Foul Play. And like this Umbreon had Thunder Wave. If I swapped into a Thunder Wave, I would have gotten super screwed. So the Umbreon is just going to keep wishing, and I'm just going to keep going for Aqua Jet and swap in my Medicham safely. Now, I was wondering if this is more of a defensive Umbreon, it might be able to badly live, and I might lose. But if it's specially defensive, I should be able to take it out here. So going into my Medicham, I'm going to go for the close combat on the Umbreon, and that's enough to take it out. Thank goodness. Oh, that was really close. My Koraidon actually did a lot of damage early game, but it was actually a close game in the end. So that was a really good battle. Hope you enjoyed that one. And into this second battle, this battle was definitely something. So now I'm actually going to lead my Grubbin here. Now, this set was Sticky Web Grubbin. It's really the only thing this Pokemon can really do. I have Sticky Web, I have Thunder Wave, I have Volt Switch, and Struggle Bug. Yes, Struggle Bug, amazing. I actually have Terra Ghost on this Pokemon, just in case I let off versus a Pokemon that could Rapid Spin. I could Terra Ghost and be immune to the Rapid Spin damage. I will say, though, I definitely never did that. In the majority of the battles that I did, it was always me terrestrializing my Koraidon because it's a Koraidon. Like, it's such a good Pokemon, even if it's a special set. Oh my goodness, that liquidation just destroys my Raichu. Poor Raichu. What is with me swapping in Pikachu clothes on, like, one-hit KO moves, by the way? That seems to be a trend. So, the Azumarill is, like, Shell Bell. That's actually crazy. So, I'm gonna swap into my Grubbin again. I'm gonna get some more Volt Switch chip damage. I was thinking that this Azumarill was potentially, Aqua Jet, but it didn't go for Aqua Jet versus me, so I was thinking that it might be like Play Rough, Liquidation, Knockoff, and like Ice Punch or something. So they're gonna go for the Liquidation versus my my Finison. I do live that, thankfully, just because I resist. Now, this time I was like, well, there really isn't much I could go for versus this Azumarill. I'm gonna go for that Choice Banded Zen Headbutt. I get a flinch. I was like, okay, this is nice. I might be able to 2-hit KO it now, except that I miss. Unfortunate. So there goes my Finison, but you know, it got some good chip damage versus the Azumarill. Now, I was scared to go into my Grubbin because I don't even think that, I'll be honest, I don't even think a Volt Switch would be able to take out the Azumarill from here. So I'm just going to go into my Medicham here and go for the safe Poison Jab and take out this Azumarill. Man, it really did a number on my team though. It took out 2 of my Pokemon and it left one of my other Pokemon on 1 health. This is not really looking good so far. So, into Kyurem White, oh my gosh. So, I was wondering, well, I could definitely sacrifice my Grubbin here and maybe potentially revenge KO this Pokemon with my Medicham. Now, I'm going to swap back into my Grubbin. Unfortunately, it has a sacrifice. It's so slow even after the Sticky Webs, so there's no way that I could be able to save it for anything. The Kyurem White goes for Ice Burn. I'm like, what the heck? And this Power Herb Ice Burn. This is so overkill versus my 1 HP Grubbin. The poor Grubbin. I hope you enjoyed the nickname, by the way. I wonder if anyone will get this reference as well. It's just a caveat. I love nicknaming Pokemon, so this booster pack team is like perfect for like what I want to do because typically I usually do like franchise-based Pokemon theme teams where, you know, I name the Pokemon after the character that they most match. But with this team, I'm able to nickname my Pokemon whatever I want, and it's I'll be honest, I'm pretty creative when it comes to them. I don't know if I'd say that it's good nicknames, but it's definitely better than just just not nicknaming them, I guess. So in comes Zekrom. I thought, well, I'm just gonna get off my chip versus this. I'm gonna go for the close combat. It doesn't take it out, unfortunately, but they're gonna go for the Bolt Strike, and they actually miss. Oh my gosh, that was super lucky. I was definitely not taking that at all. So I'm gonna go for the close combat and take out the Zekrom, thankfully. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a good Pokemon to get rid of. I was definitely gonna swap in my Koraidon after that if it did take out my Medicham. If I didn't say I'm running Terra Poison on this. I think I said that though. So into the Petrarut now. Now, oh my goodness, I cannot do really anything. I need to chip this Pokemon so that I could revenge KO it with Zen Headbutt. Now, Petrorunt has a lot of defense, so I know that I needed to get as much chip damage as I possibly can versus it. Into my Metagross, man, I eat that Shadow Ball. Now, I went for Rest this turn. I thought that it would outspeed me, but I forgot about the sticky webs. Oops. So I'm gonna go for the rest. I'm running Iron Defense, Body Press, Heavy Slam, and Rest on this Metagross with Terra Water. It's actually a really, really good set. This Pokemon is really good now that it has all like the moveset buffs. Like it gets like Heavy Slam, which is like a really good steel move. I mean, it didn't really do much to Petrorunt, but Petrorunt has like sky high defenses. But I'm not running attack EVs on this either. It's fully specially defensive. I'm just going to get as much chip damage as I can, like I said, with Heavy Slam to hopefully put it in range of Zen Headbutt from my Medicham. Now, it's going to take me out with the Shadow Ball, but like I said, this Metagross is really, really good. I actually did end up getting a lot of wins with it, thankfully, because it's such a tankable Pokemon, and people don't really expect rest from it. So I'm going to go for the Zen Headbutt on my Medicham and Revenge KO this Petrorunt and take it out, thankfully. Now, they did have a lot of other scary Pokemon in the back though, like this Fluttermane. But since the Sticky Web was up from my Grubbin, I'm actually going to be able to outspeed this Fluttermane. And I was thinking, well, hopefully this Pokemon is not Sash, because I've seen a lot of Focus Sash Fluttermane fluttering around recently. But it gets taken out in one. The Grubbin MVP of this game for setting up the Sticky Web. Now, into the last Pokemon, which is Ogerpon, Heartflame, another really threatening Pokemon. Now, I was thinking here, well, like obviously I can't switch in my Koraidon hard into this because I could get hit by a sun boosted Ivy Cudgel. So they're gonna go for the Ivy Cudgel and take out my Medicham. But it did so much work in this game. Medicham is not a Pokemon to be messed around with. Like that ability, Pure Power, that doubles its attack, it actually hits really, really strong. It's such a fun Pokemon to use. Now, this turn I was like, well, I better not miss Meteor Beam on this, because that's really my only move to hit this Ogerpon. Because I have this, all of my moves are pretty much inaccurate, and I could have went for Dragon Ball this turn, but I wanted to finish it in style and go for the super effective Meteor Beam. And they're gonna Terrasilize their Ogerpon too. I was thinking that they might not even Terrasilize this game, but they actually do Terrasilize their Ogerpon. But since the Sticky Webs is up, and since Koraidon naturally outspeeds Ogerpon here, I'm actually going to be able to go for the Meteor Beam and hopefully take it out, assuming that I don't miss. I should be able to live any move this goes for, even if it's Embody Aspect in the sun, just because I naturally resist it, and I do have good defense on this Pokemon. So the Power Herb is going to kick in, and thankfully, I do land the Meteor Beam and take out the Ogerpon. I almost called it the Ivy Cudgel. And that's going to be the end of both games. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, if you want to see more of these booster pack teams, then please hit the like button. I want to know how many people are interested in seeing more of this, because I think that they're really fun, and we could do this like maybe once a month. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.